Have you ever felt like life isn't fair? Like you're doing everything right, being kind, working hard, trying to live with integrity, but somehow, it seems like people who don't care about any of that are the ones thriving? If that resonates, then Psalm 37 is for you. It opens with this simple but profound instruction: do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. That's easier said than done, isn't it? Because when you're in the thick of it, it's hard not to wonder why things don't seem to add up. But David, the writer of this psalm, gently reminds us to take a step back. He says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pastures." Trust. It's such a simple word, but let's be honest, it's not always simple to do, especially when life feels uncertain or unfair. That's where Jesus comes in. He's the Word, the one who became flesh to walk with us, to show us who God really is. And what we see in him is someone who's not distant, not detached, but close, personal, invested in our lives. When Jesus walked this earth, he didn't ignore the realities of hardship or injustice. He saw them, felt them, and even carried them. And through it all, he showed us what it means to trust in God's plan, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Psalm 37 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." But what does it mean to delight in the Lord? It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about finding joy in who God is, in his love, his grace, his promises. It's about letting him shape your heart so that your desires align with his. And here's the beautiful part. When we lean into that relationship with Jesus, when we let him be our guide, our perspective starts to shift. We stop measuring success by the world's standards and start seeing the bigger picture, God's picture. The psalm goes on to say, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun." Think about that image for a moment. The dawn breaking through the darkness, the noonday sun shining bright and steady. That's the kind of life Jesus calls us into, not one free from challenges, but one filled with his light. But let's be real, waiting for that light can be hard. David acknowledges this when he writes, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him." Patience isn't exactly easy, is it? Especially in a world that's all about instant results. But God's timing is different. It's not rushed, but it's always perfect. Jesus lived this out so beautifully. He didn't hurry through life. He took the time to be present, to notice people, to meet them in their struggles. And he invites us to do the same. Here's where it gets personal. Where are you struggling to trust God right now? Maybe it's in your job, your relationships, your health, or your future. Whatever it is, Psalm 37 offers this promise. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. Picture that for a second. God holding your hand, not letting go, even when you stumble. That's grace. That's freedom. It's not about being perfect or never messing up. It's about knowing that Jesus is with you, steadying you, guiding you, lifting you up when you feel like you're falling. The psalm also speaks about the contrast between those who trust in the Lord and those who don't. It's not about judgment, it's about choice. Where do you want your foundation to be? On the fleeting, unstable things of this world, or on the solid rock of God's promises? Jesus came to show us what that foundation looks like. He lived a life rooted in trust in the Father's plan, even when it led to the cross. And because of his sacrifice, we have access to a relationship with God that's unshakable. David writes, "Better the little that the righteous have than the wealth of many wicked." It's a reminder that what we have in Jesus is far more valuable than anything the world can offer. His peace, His presence, His love. These are the treasures that truly satisfy. And then there's this beautiful verse. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in Him. Refuge. That word feels so comforting, doesn't it? It's the image of a safe place, a shelter in the storm. Jesus is our refuge. He's the one who says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He's the one who steps into our chaos and offers us peace, not because we've earned it, but because He loves us. So let me ask, where do you need that refuge today? What burdens are you carrying that you could lay at Jesus' feet? Psalm 37 isn't just a call to trust God in a general sense. It's an invitation to trust Him with your story, with the things that make you anxious, the questions that keep you up at night, the dreams that feel out of reach. And it's not about pretending that life's struggles don't exist. It's about choosing to believe that Jesus is bigger than those struggles, that His grace is enough. As we wrap this up, let's pause for a moment. Think about one area of your life where you need to trust God more. Maybe it's something you've been holding on to tightly, trying to control. Or maybe it's something you've been too afraid to even bring to Him. Whatever it is, I encourage you to take a step of faith today. Talk to Jesus about it. Be honest. He can handle it. And if this message has touched your heart, I'd love to hear from you. What stood out to you in Psalm 37? What's one way you're choosing to trust God this week? Drop a comment below. Your story might encourage someone else.